Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Impact Money Show. Uh-oh, I got the wrong designation here. General, my name, my brother did this. How do I fix it? Crypto Leadership Conference. Well, shoot, if I can't fix that quick, I won't worry about it right now. General. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Anyway, very good to see everybody. It has been a heck of a time, I'll tell you that, guys. We are here to unpack the week that has been a whirlwind of political, financial, and technological developments, each with potential to shape our future in a significant way. Let's embark on this journey through the latest happenings. Kicking off the highlight of the week, the DC Inaugural Week has been more than just a series of ceremonial events. It has been a beacon for the cryptocurrency community. With the MAGA Maha Crypto Leadership Conference was a powerhouse of ideas where the integration of digital currencies into national policy was not only discussed but actively shaped. From debates on the adoption of digital assets to the visionary concept of digital reserve stockpile, this conference, was a testament to the growing influence of blockchain technology in economic policymaking. Following this, the Bitcoin inaugural ball, our wonderful thing, was not merely a celebration, but a statement of the new era for finance. It was an evening and health. It was an evening where culture met policy, met technology. Joy Villa brought her unique blend of music and political commentary. Bikers for Trump was there, of course, showcased the grassroots support of the vision. And even Andre Soriano, with his designs for Melania Trump, added a layer of glamour to the proceedings. Of course, there were many other performances, on and on and on. I'll get into those at another time. The inclusion of world leaders at the events underscored the global implications of cryptocurrencies, suggesting that what happens in the US with digital currencies could set a precedence worldwide. The ball was a cultural, political, and technological fusion, making a pivotal moment for cryptocurrencies are not just acknowledged but celebrated as part of the economic future. We have really arrived, folks. I mean, from buying and selling in the shadows amongst each other to Trump dropping a meme coin during his inauguration week. I'll tell you what, something else, guys. It is really something to be a part of. Moving to the political landscape, Trump's return to power has initiated a rapid sequence of executive order actions reflecting a clear agenda to execute his campaign promises. His administration has embarked on what he describes as the largest deportation effort in U.S. history, declared a national emergency at the southern border to facilitate border security measures, and resumed the construction of the border wall. Additionally, Trump has acted to end birthright citizenship, paused refugee resettlements, and reversed environmental policies by withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement again. His decision to pardon 1,500 patriots from the January 6th, mostly peaceful protest, is a statement on his political dissent, loyalty, and justice. I'll tell you what, it's something else what's going on there. I know better news. Did you get in on the Trump coin? Gabe asks off of YouTube. Well, sure I did. I'll tell you what, I tried to buy it though the night that it happened, and it was moving so fast that on Radium it just kept not working. Of course, I've been in and out then. Of course, as you guys know, and down here, down on the bottom here, you can see 2-bit. You can hit that QR code and join on 2-bit. Use our Impact Money referral code. And 2-bit has both the Trump meme coin and the Melania coin. And as a matter of fact, I have been jumping in and out of those, to be totally honest. I think that Melania's probably bottomed out around that 350 range or so, but who knows? It's really hard to say. Without having established a value, it's any man's game right now. Trump meme coin is sitting at $8.5 billion market cap. That could easily change. It makes it a fun trade. It's risky, grab it on a dip. It did dip down to like 35 on the dip last night. So yeah, of course, my friend, of course. And people made a lot of money. They made a lot of money with it, and then still are. Internationally, the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release provides a sliver of hope against the ongoing conflict. This deal involving the exchange of hostages and prisoners marks a cautious step toward peace, though it's met with mixed feelings from both sides. I don't think either side's going to be happy with anything, to be honest with you. They just don't like each other. Back on the home front, Los Angeles is facing a fury of the Santa Ana winds, a stark reminder of our vulnerability to natural disasters and man-made disasters, and the urgent need to take care of our land properly, take care of our wild forest properly, and have emergency preparedness. In tech policy, let me put up the prices here. Boom, there we go. Forgot to do that. In tech policy, there's been an interesting pivot with Trump's stance on TikTok. After previously advocating for its ban, there's now a policy shift towards keeping TikTok operational in the U.S., reflecting the complex interplay between tech policy, national security, and international relations. I'll tell you what, this last administration, say what you want about Trump and everything else. There's one thing that around the world we can all agree on, and that's that the last administration was a disaster. They were a disaster. It doesn't matter who you talk to. I talked to my buddy yesterday, and he's been a lifelong Democrat his whole life. And he was saying, hey, it's good. It's good that we got Trump. It's good. I was like quiet, just listening to him. We can all agree the last 4 years were a disaster. They were a disaster. And there was almost no better way to see that and have it in front of your face than having that TikTok screen saying, we're down, right? It's down. That's it. These guys are not the sharpest tools in the shed. Let's put it that way, because I don't know how you go ahead and you let that happen. And then of course Trump comes in, and then boom, it's back up. So all the TikTokers, like Trump or not, you like him now, right? That wasn't a very hard move. On the economic front, the U.S. dollar has experienced a slight dip. It's a decent dip, actually, which might be attributed to market reactions to the delay in or adjustments in Trump's tariffs policy. This has had a direct impact on gold and silver, both of which have seen gains as investors look for hedges against inflation or policy-driven market volatility. It is pretty interesting. Trump, the way I've talked about it before, but the way he negotiates, he goes real far and then he takes it back. But he goes so far, he gets everybody talking and upset or excited or whatever it is, and then he brings it back. It's his signature style of how he does things. So it will be interesting to see how the tariffs play out. After telling everybody and their brother he was going to put 100% tariff on it. In the realm of cryptocurrency, we've witnessed a Bitcoin reaching all-time highs of $110,000 over this week, with altcoins following suit. The surge is not just a market reaction, but a reflection of the optimism surrounding the new administration's pro-crypto stance, hinting at a future where digital currencies might play a pivotal role in financial systems. And speaking of cryptocurrency, last night, Liberland held their reception. Of course, Liberland is doing their government, a lot of stuff on the blockchain. This event I was honored to speak at. It was a real honor. I was awarded the Star of Merit by the president a number of years ago. And the foreign minister said some words, and they invited me up to say some words too. I was very honored about it. I was very honored. Wonderful people. It was a celebration of liberty, innovation, and the potential of micronations to act as laboratories for new economic and governance models. The reception was a success on all fronts, bringing together a diverse group of thinkers, entrepreneurs, and freedom advocates, all captivated by the idea of a world where blockchain can enable new forms of societal organization. Being asked to speak at such an event was truly humbling for me. Today, I'm excited to attend the Digital Chamber event where we'll dive deeper into these political shifts, how these political shifts could influence the trajectory of digital currencies and blockchain technology, exploring both the opportunities and challenges ahead. Of course, Perry Ann Boring and the Digital Chamber were very gracious with us and helped us put together some of the speakers for the DC inaugural week. It was our first time really working together. She's a legend here in the district, and the Digital Chamber is a highly influential organization. So we're very happy to be working with them. Happy to go to their event today. Lastly, we can't overlook Elon Musk, whose influence spans multiple industries, from the latest Starship test flights, which while ending in an explosion provided valuable data, to his venture into real estate with potential interest here in DC, and the fact that he's cutting the Department of Government Efficiency is going to be something else. Musk's actions are a constant reminder of his impact on technology, space, and now politics. His vocal presence on social media, his involvement in cryptocurrency, world politics, and discussions keep him at the forefront of our daily discourse. Today's Impact Money show promises to be one of the best. I have my good friend here, the great Matt Dixon, with our market report. Sir Matt, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Bruce. Morning, everybody. Pleasure to be here. So,
Pleasure to have you.
We're going to start off, obviously, with Trump. So, congratulations on the win there. Whichever way you voted, I mean, this is democracy. When somebody wins in democracy, we're supposed to all get behind them. We're supposed to pray for everything, for our leaders. So let's try and do that and get behind and try and make the very most, which, as I say, whichever way you voted, this is a democracy. We need to get behind and hopefully see some great things done during this presidency.
Well said.
So, thank you. So I'm going to present my. It's been about a week since I've done this, isn't it?
I know. Matt was laughing at me. Yesterday, I said, I need one more day. I'm still recovering. He just sends me a laughing emoji.
So actually, I'm sharing my screen. I hope you can see that now.
I got it.
So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to continue actually for the time being on Bitcoin, because I'd like to just have a look, get some indication. I think it's really important we have a look at the Trump coin, of course, and the Melania coin. Let's just have a look what we think of those in a minute. But looking at the really big picture, I mean, don't forget Trump, Melania, they're meme coins. So, you know, what we can gather from that, we'll see. But here's Bitcoin. Now, this obviously isn't the all-time low, but it's actually the low, the FTX low, 15,500. So this was a correction that we had into that FTX low. That was back in November 2022 was the low in Bitcoin at the time, about 15,000-ish, somewhere around there. And I put that as the beginning. I'll sort of label it here as, I'll just put it in as 0, just to show where we're starting so you can see. So you can see where my count starts there as 0. So I suggest that this cycle is a 5-wave move cycle. And it's actually maybe the last cycle in this particular larger cycle. And we've always talked about these fractals and different cycles within cycles. So as it's impulsive higher, we know it's impulsive higher. Basically, Bitcoin keeps making new all-time highs. So we're still impulsively to the upside. So the direction of the trend is still to the upside. And that's reasonably clear. We can see that in this cycle here, that you're going to move up and you get a very shallow retracement back, corrective retracement back. Then another sharp move up and another very choppy sideways kind of correction back. Then another sharp move up, and at some point we'll get another choppy correction back. So we can see this is basically a cycle higher, an impulsive cycle higher, and the trend is higher. So that's really good news for anyone who's in crypto, particularly Bitcoin, of course. So we can see here, I've labeled it as wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. It fulfills all of the rules that we would want it to. So wave 4 cannot overlap into territory of wave 1, and clearly it doesn't. It's a long way off. There's some there's a guideline or rule of alternation where wave 2 and wave 4 are different wave structures. They're both corrective against the trend, but they're different structures and a different duration and different depth. And we can see it fulfills that beautifully. So this is actually a really textbook nice Elliott wave count. Now wave 3 is already extended. So wave 3 is more than 1.618 times the shortest wave here, wave 1. So again, that fulfills the rules beautifully. Wave 5 could even be more extended, so it could go even much, much higher, but it looks as though we're not finished yet. So what I've done, as I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in red, that's a big cycle, but then it's probably better we come down and focus on this last move up from the wave 4 here in red, because that last move up itself will also be made up of 5 waves. So I'll just try and expand that out. I'll keep it on the daily for now, just so I'm not changing anything too much. So from this wave 4, once again, we have something like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we still have a 5th wave higher to go. So remember, we haven't yet completed the large 5th wave in red, and the large 5th wave in red is made up of these blue waves, which are smaller cycle waves, smaller fractal. We still have higher to go to finish the move higher. And it's quite clear we appear to have had a corrective move down, and it's finished here on a blue wave 4. So it's really nice when we look at the indicators that we very often use and promote within this show. We had here, and it's probably not on this cycle, but actually also works on this cycle. We actually had here regular bearish divergence at the very top, wave 3. That's the previous all-time high of 108,000. And then we had regular bearish divergence. Now, I will just open this out now into the 4 hour so we can see a little bit more clearly where we're at. So there's the regular bearish divergence. That's this red line here. It told us there was a top here. And we also got short-term divergence as well. A couple of divergences telling us the top was here. Time to basically not necessarily sell, but it's a time for consolidation. And so from there, we got the WXY move down, which is a corrective move. It's not impulsive, it's corrective. It tells us there's a new all-time high to come, and we got that yesterday. So this wave 3, interestingly, itself was also made up of 5 waves, and from this 0 here, I've actually labeled it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like what is called an ending diagonal. An ending diagonal very often works within trend lines, as is shown here. And it's a perfect ending diagonal. Wave 3 was not the shortest. Again, it fulfills all of the Elliott wave rules. It is perfect. So we have a nice end to the wave 3 here. We have a very nice corrective wave 4, which is the WXY, which is double zigzag correction. That completes wave 4 for us. So then from the end of wave 4, we then expect to move impulsively higher. And that's exactly what happened. And we saw that new all-time high yesterday. It topped out at 109,000, somewhere around there. So that is actually quite typical of a wave 1 high. It'll get to the previous high here of wave 3, then it'll pull back in a correction, wave 2 here. So this is a small wave 1, and I'll just draw that in again for you to see where we're at. Just put the wave 1 there, and it's a much smaller wave 1. It's a much smaller cycle, so I'm going to put it right down to a much smaller size to show that we had a wave 1 there, and we're actually now working on a wave 2. And it may or may not be complete, but wave 2 is often actually relatively deep compared with the wave 4 correction. Wave 4 is very often more sideways, but we have that rule of alternation. So once wave 2 is complete, we'll have a really good idea of what to expect for wave 4. But here, as I say, we have an impulsive wave 1 higher that took us to new all-time highs. Then we expect to get the pullback. And actually, I'm just looking here, no divergences there on that time frame, so that's interesting. So anyway, wave one, wave two down. So it looks as though maybe we've got a little bit more to pull back before we finish wave two, because we seem to have had from the top of wave one there, we seem to have had an A, a B, and we're probably going to get a wave C down. Maybe not much lower, but a bit lower. It's going to test down again. Not that low. Test down, maybe there, from there to there. Then we get the move up again. To another all-time high is coming later. So just put the question mark. We don't know exactly how deep.
Bitcoin.com, I think it is, on their Twitter, they have the countdown, or the basically live stream dance type event thing up until 125. So that everyone has that number in their head.
Great, all the entertainment that goes alongside.
Yeah.
I mean, is this, honestly, Bruce, this is just such a nice, clear technical picture for Bitcoin. You can follow it so beautifully. It fits within the Elliott wave, following all the rules, following Fibonacci. And again, we will do a show again one day, just looking a little bit more into Fibonacci and the golden ratio. I know you had a young viewer on one time talking about Fibonacci and golden ratio. It is absolutely amazing how it's derived, how meaningful it is throughout the whole of nature, but also with charting. It's very, very predictive. So with this being, by the way, we have wave 4 down. Wave 5 should be quite a strong, powerful impulse to the upside. So wave 5 is made up of 5 waves. So we started off 1, 2, we're going to get wave 3, strong wave 3 high, then wave 4, wave 5. That could take us to the top of a number of cycles in Bitcoin. So after that, we'll get a good pullback. But for now, although we're going to get a short-term pullback, I'm really bullish still. So with Trump coming in, all the policies he's bringing in, as you say, his mode or style of negotiation is very different, but it actually appears very effective as well. So there'll be some positivity. I know he stepped back a little bit. He was talking about tariffs, and he was talking at one time tariff of 60% on China. He's now proposing maybe 10%. So again, it's that strong arm tactic of trying to get people to the negotiating table, say, we're going to do this, and then basically have a proper negotiation. And I'm sure something good will come out of it, hopefully for the benefit of all. So that's really positive for Bitcoin. As I say, long term, I'm still extremely bullish, and we'll continue to follow that on the show. And I think the way we've been following it hopefully is really helpful. So I'm going to just jump into Trump coin here. For Trump coin, obviously, it's not been around long. Yeah, so it's not been around long. So let's, this is the Binance chart. So just to show how it was on Binance. So I've gone to the hourly because obviously we can't go long term. And we can't deduce that much from it. And as Bruce has said, he's given all the disclaimers and warnings. This is a meme coin. Be careful. This isn't financial advice, etc., etc. But let's just see what we can see from the chart anyway, and then you make your own decisions. So clearly on Binance, once it got onto Binance, we got this massive pump to the upside from somewhere around 300% pump, 27 to right up here, 77. So about 300% pump to the upside. But since then, we've had this really quite a big pullback, and that's very typical. Now, I've looked a little bit into the Trump coin, and whilst it is a meme coin, it's actually got quite a lot of protections in place. So Trump himself and a lot of the big holders in the coin are locked in. And I think the vesting is about 3 years or something. I think it actually begins vesting in 3 years' time. So that means they can't sell big chunks of the token to smash it down. But clearly, when it goes onto Binance, there's a lot of euphoria, a lot of people buy into it, and then there's the inevitable dump stage. So you get the pump here, and we got a dump, and it's we don't know for sure whether it's over. I suspect there may be some more pullback to come yet. I don't think we're quite ready for to go much higher. But the other thing is, whilst this is a meme coin, which actually doesn't have any real utility or use case behind it, we know from other meme coins that sometimes when they're very, very successful like this, they later build in utility. And this can happen with any token. You can go back to tokenomics and you can go back to the actual token itself and re-engineer, get a blockchain engineer to re-engineer the token to build in real, genuine utility so that the token has real value. real underlying purpose and value and reason to buy and reason to hold the token. So we can't rule that out. So at the moment, it's a pure meme, very, very speculative, but we can't rule out that at some point in the future, they will re-engineer this at the blockchain level to put some utility there, and it could become really, really valuable. They've got the money to do it, of course. I mean,
Yes.
it's capitalization of many, many billions. So there's the money to do it, and I suspect that probably will be the road forward for them. I don't think they'll leave it as just a meme. But this also brings us on to the subject of, it's on Solana. So Solana is the, you're about to say something. No, go ahead.
You took a nice turn, so go ahead with that, and then I'll hop in.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's on Solana. Solana is the token for meme coins, so that was the obvious choice. Why I say it's interesting, we have been quite negative for some time on Ethereum, because Ethereum used to be the one for all of the smart contracts. All the tokens used to be built on Ethereum. That is no longer the case. So Ethereum has lost its crown, as it were, and it's slipped back, and it has very much less utility than it had before. And it's still actually expensive and slow compared with the likes of Solana. Although even Solana, by the way, still has its problems of congestion. And I know they've done a lot of upgrades, and I'm sure they'll continue to do upgrades, and I'm sure it will be fixed. And it's not actually affected the price negatively at all. But I'm just saying Solana appears to be the future right now, and Ethereum appears to have lost its crown. So that's why
it's lost. Sorry, yeah, it's lost a lot of its luster, and everybody has noticed. I did want to say here on this Trump meme, it is very symbolic. The last president that started a currency, or I guess you could say started it, was of course JFK. JFK started with the silver banknotes, and that was done outside of the Federal Reserve. Of course, and the Fed up here, the banking cartel, and so it was the reverberations of him minting his own money as he stepped into office, I think historically is going to go down as a very pivotal point in the history of the United States and indeed the world.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, as I say, whether you're for or against, it doesn't matter. Trump is actually going to be, I think, the president of potential change in so many, many ways, some for good, some for bad. Let's hope more for good. And we're talking about change here, both within America, but also on the international stage. There are big changes already in the Middle East. I think there are going to be big changes with the Russia-Ukraine war. So even on a monetary level, I think there's so much to be shaken up here, and probably needs a shake-up, to be fair. So let's look forward, hopefully with some optimism, and try to give support where we can and get behind. As I say, even in the UK, where a lot of people are very, very disenchanted with our Prime Minister there. But I still think this is a democracy. If the guy was voted in, you need to try and get behind him and try and support him to deliver. And then there'll come the next round of voting. And if you didn't like it, vote him out and get the person you want in. That's the way democracy should work. Once somebody wins in a democratic vote, it's actually people should get behind that person. And then the next time will come, they can make their choice then. But having this division while someone's in power, I don't think is particularly healthy. So that's why I'm trying to urge people, even in the UK, to get behind, even if you don't agree with policies, the guy who's voted in, actually, I think it's our duty to try and get behind them. So
it's a great message.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Get off my soapbox a bit. So that's the Trump coin. Basically had a pullback. I think there's potentially maybe some more pullback to come. It'll probably go, now it's out and we've had all the activity there. I think it'll probably start to follow Bitcoin a little bit more. I mean, it's got enough market cap to do it. Melania is actually a little bit different. Here's the Melania coin.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's fallen pretty well from outset. And again, it actually looks like the movement up. I don't actually see any impulsive movement to the upside. So the movement from the bottom here appears to be 3 waves. That is corrective. That would tell me there's probably more lows to come yet with Melania coin. So whilst there's probably a bit more correction to come on Trump and a bit more correction on Bitcoin and maybe some other assets before we pump higher, with Melania, I think there's most likely to be a new low because it's a brand new coin basically anyway, so there's no big deal. But there's going to be a new low before we have any chance of pumping more to the upside. But again, it's got a massive market cap. Once again, they could re-engineer at blockchain level this token to make it have some real utility. So if it drops low, if you're into meme coins, obviously I wouldn't put all your money there because they are memes, but maybe it's worth a little punt, a speculative punt, that if it drops lower, maybe just dip your toe in and see what happens. But I wouldn't be prepared to put too much into it. Personally, I'm not a fan of meme coins.
I dipped my toes in and then ran with my little profits before it dipped down again. It's very, very speculative right now. Both of them, really. I mean, they'll move, 10%. Like.
Now, the next big thing in the news, I know that we could go on forever about America and Trump and what's in the news there, but we need to move on a little bit. So I'm looking here at the dollar against the yen. Now, the reason this is really interesting at the moment is we've actually got an interest rate decision this Friday, and it looks as though the Japanese are going to raise interest rates again. So the thing is, last time, though, there's a big difference. There's an 80% chance. There's an 80% chance they're going to raise rates. But the point is, it's expected. The market expects 80% of the market basically are saying they're going to raise rates. So much of it is already factored in. So we shouldn't be quite as worried as last time when the last time they raised rates, it was a massive shock to the market. It caused a massive sell-off. I'm not saying there won't be some reaction, but I'm just saying it probably won't be the market shock that we had. I think it was last July, wasn't it, Bruce, that last happened, if I remember rightly?
It hit the markets hard. Oof.
Yeah, I think it was last July that happened. So I think that we're not going to get any major shocks in the market because of it. The market expects there to be an interest rate rise. The Japanese have a problem with inflation, so they're raising rates to try. They're really afraid of inflation. After years of deflation, they don't now want to fall into the grasp of inflation. So this is the 1 hour. I'll just go longer term. Again, 1 hour, we appear to have 5 waves down somewhere here. We're probably just going to get a correction higher, and we will get some movement down. So maybe come Friday, we will get some reaction, but I just don't think it'll be aggressive the way it was back in July. I'll just go quickly longer term on this chart to show where we're at longer term. So we saw these 5 waves down, but don't forget we're actually have a much larger, I can fit this in on this chart. This is the 4 hour. We actually have a larger 5 waves to the upside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, wave 4 doesn't overlap wave 1. Just trying to see when this was, when the pullbacks were, yeah. So anyway, we're either complete or near completion for wave 5. I think we're complete, actually. I've labeled it as complete as a wave 5 move. We just got a wave 5 there. I haven't got the small count, but it should be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. And now we're beginning to move down in dollar yen. So if it continues to move down, then again, that could be due to geopolitical troubles or something else, but I don't think it's going to be just down to the interest rates on the Japanese yen. We're seeing the dollar index move down, and don't forget, we actually showed this in advance, and we said there's likely to be a turn down in dollar yen. I haven't changed this chart. This actually showed that we had regular bearish divergence where we got higher highs in price, lower highs in corresponding RSI. That told us we're going to get a sell-off in the dollar. So here the dollar index moved down quite sharply. So again, these are events that, you might have wondered how Trump inauguration, whatever, might have impacted the dollar. Well, we actually had it in advance because even before it happened, we had the regular bearish divergence. We actually came from strongly overbought territory on the RSI. So this was telling us that we're going to head down. We've probably got 1, 2, 3. It's hard to say, 3 maybe here. Because we're near the bottom on RSI, I do think at some point soon we're probably going to get a turn higher again. Don't know whether this will be short term, long term, but if you're short on the dollar, I wouldn't be holding shorts now because we're very close to being oversold on the RSI. So I think we'll probably get at least a temporary turn up on the US dollar. We've even seen the pound rallying against the dollar, but again, it's very much a corrective move to the upside. So we can see it's three up, 3 down. I hope you can see this. I don't know whether I should bother labeling it, but basically wave A up, B down, C up. That's an A wave. And
Yep.
A, C down for a B wave. And then we're actually looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 3, 3, 5 correction. That's basically what's called a flat correction. So this is just a correction. So it means the correction is against the trend higher. So we are actually going to head down lower again soon on the pound against the dollar. That would tell us there is some dollar strength to come through soon. That would align with what I just told you on DXY. And don't forget with DXY, the biggest participant or constituent of the dollar index basket is the euro. But here, even with the pound, we're expecting the dollar again to start to show, to fall a bit, basically, to show a bit of, to strengthen a bit, the dollar to strengthen, to push the pound dollar further down. And don't forget, long term, I'm very bearish on the pound and I'm more bullish on the dollar. In comparative terms, the dollar is in much better shape. The economy is in better shape. Basically, everything's in better shape at the moment for the US. The UK is really in the doldrums and struggling with balancing budgets and all sorts of problems they have. So this is corrective higher. Just to summarize, we're expecting lower. So pound dollar is going to head to the downside reasonably soon. We may not quite finish this move, but very soon we're going to get a further move down. Bear in mind, right now, we're somewhere around 123.50 area. The low point here is 121. So percentage terms, that's quite a big move. So risk reward is fantastic right now. If you trade currencies, risk reward is getting good to start to dollar cost average into some short positions on the pound against the dollar with the likelihood of lower. Again, this isn't firm advice. You need to do your own DD, but it would make absolute sense to start thinking about DCAing. If your research agrees, maybe it's worth having a look at. SPX, we'll just jump into SPX quickly. This is the S&P 500, of course. We had this nice corrective move down, WXY. It's actually very similar to the Bitcoin chart. We had a WXY down. We haven't quite reached new all-time highs again, although Bitcoin did, but it's a similar chart. So the big question is that WXY down complete, or is it just a large part of a bigger corrective wave? So that's basically one wave down, get another wave to somewhere near the previous all-time high, then a further wave, corrective wave down. That would be my favorite choice at the moment, but I'm by no means certain about it. But I'm just saying, I think this correction still has some way to go before we push off again, much higher to new all-time highs. But because this is corrective in anybody's books, really. Because this move down is corrective, it tells me that at some point, even if it's not immediate, but at some point within this cycle, we will get new all-time highs on the S&P 500. That is bullish. So again, I'm bullish Bitcoin, I'm bullish equities. Yeah, so that's pretty well that. Solana, yeah, it's been reasonably clear, but I must admit I've not done particularly well. I've messed up a bit on Solana personally because, again, just being honest and open here, we had a W wave down, we had an X wave higher, and I wasn't sure this Y wave was complete. It could have been just part of an A, then a B, then a C down. But I did say, and I came out on the previous show, either it's complete here or we have lower to go, and it will still push to new all-time highs. So if you followed that advice, you'd have made money. I wasn't positioned for the up move here. But to be honest, if you followed what I said, you'd have actually done really well on this, because I said you should dollar cost average from here. There's going to be a new all-time high, and that's precisely what happened. We got a massive all-time high here at $295. And then a bit like Bitcoin, we've got massively overbought here on the RSI at the all-time high, and then we pulled back. I think a bit like Bitcoin, I actually don't think the correction is complete. I think we've had an A wave down. I think we're working on a B wave. It could even go a bit higher to complete the B wave. Now I think we're going to C wave down. But because this is still impulsive to the upside, and this is just an ABC correction, it looks like at the moment, to downside, then I do suspect we have new all-time highs yet to come on Solana. So I'm still extremely bullish on Solana. I just think in the short to medium term, there's going to be some more choppiness around here. Maybe it pull a little bit lower, probably not massively low, but maybe just a bit of a continuation of this correction before we then push to new all-time highs for Solana. Gold has been
the Trump meme coin being on Solana. I'm telling you, of course, that is huge for it. You know, people that never had Solana or didn't know that much about it are having Solana now. So that has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe people didn't realize early enough, but Solana was the chain of choice, especially for the meme coins. All the memes are on Solana, really. So that's pretty much old news. But I guess you're right. Actually, absolutely confirms that Solana is the chain of choice for memes, as the Trump coin and the Melania coin both went on Solana. That was the obvious choice. Looking at gold. We've rallied quite a bit higher here in gold. Let's just have a look where we're at. We're not quite at the previous all-time high, but again, it actually looks to me like it's not actually possible to be certain at the moment, but it looks like this is a larger correction. So I still think there's more downside to come. I've got an arrow here. We've gone so far a bit above where I expected. So if we just move that Fibonacci measurement, we could even go higher. We could even go easily to the previous all-time high, but where we are at the moment, I'm expecting there to be a pullback in gold at some point. We had bearish divergence here. We got a bit of a pullback, it was only minor. And that just tells you or confirms what I often do. When you get this bearish divergence, I say it's good risk reward. You can sell. As soon as it moves into profit, protect your profit. And if you had protected here, you'd have basically would have made money even when it pumped to new all-time, well, not all-time highs, but to new highs here, above here. You'd have guaranteed a profit because you move your stop loss into guaranteed profit position. So probably the best way to trade. Right now, there is actually still, I'm just trying to see whether there's any divergence in play at the moment. Let me just check if the RSI. I mean, yeah, the RSI is still actually fractionally downward sloping, and yet the corresponding with that, corresponding price is actually obviously much, much higher. So we've got very slight bearish divergence. So I am saying that I think the next major move on gold is likely to be to the downside reasonably soon. But again, this, you need to make your own call on it. We're near all-time highs. We may even revisit that before we turn, because divergence can continue and can grow. But actually, if we move above the previous high here on RSI, which if price goes up on gold, it will do, then the divergence will be eliminated. So this is something you need to watch day by day, or even, on a 4-hour chart here, 4-hour by 4-hour. You need to watch very carefully whether there's still divergence in place. You need to wait for a potential signals for return before you actually get in any short position if you were to short it. And there's no signal as yet, apart from this very mild bearish divergence. But with divergences, you actually wait for a confirming signal like a candlestick pattern. We don't have it at the moment. So I'd wait for confirmation of a downturn before I were to jump into any short position. So right now, I wouldn't be interested in trading. If you're holding it long for a long time, then fantastic. I'm sure even after a pullback, it's going to go to new all-time highs yet again. So gold's a fantastic one. Probably getting close to the end here. So I'll just finish on XRP. We had, as I think I showed on a previous show, some kind of corrective move here as a triangle, an ABCDE triangle. We know triangle is a pre-terminal move. That means the move out of the triangle is a terminal move. But clearly, from the triangle, the terminal move should be made of 5 waves. We've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and we're probably going to push up on a wave 5. So wave 3 just pierced through the previous all-time high. We're going to push higher again, I believe. This is just a corrective move down. So we're going to push higher again to new all-time highs for XRP. We could continue the correction for some time, but at some point, we should push to a new all-time high for XRP. So again, I'm really bullish across the board. I said I was going to finish on that. I just finish finally on oil, I think, because I think it's worth just checking it out. A number of things about oil that basically there's people are bullish about the economy, but also when things are really bullish and looking good, it's maybe time to start to look at what's ahead. Now, if Trump pushes ahead with these tariffs, it's actually going to be quite negative on world trade and the economies. It could actually cause a drop in the oil consumption. The other thing that might be causing it, I mean, maybe that won't happen at all. Maybe the economies will be on fire. But maybe the other thing is if Trump does manage to succeed with these peace initiatives, then any risk premium in oil will be done away with, and that would mean oil will fall. So we've had quite clearly here, I think we've had an A wave up, which is in 3 waves, a B wave down in 3 waves, and some kind of move up here. It may not have finished, but probably finished. Wave up here in a C wave to complete. And within the C wave, this final move up here is equivalent to the first wave 1, I think. Sorry, 1.618 times wave 1. So again, a beautiful Fibonacci relationship between wave 1 and wave 5 here. And don't forget, with commodities, it's very often the 5th wave which has that Fibonacci relationship. Normally, there's only 2 Fibonacci relationships within any single cycle. And so not every wave has a Fibonacci relationship, but here it appears that wave 1 and wave 5 have a perfect Fib relationship. 1.618 is the golden ratio. Very, very important. So I do think this ABC correction higher here in oil may now result, and it's already started to result, in substantial further downside. And maybe with peace breaking out and budding and actually coming into flower now, maybe we'll see any risk premium, as I say, be done away with oil, and we could see lower prices. If we see lower prices, don't forget that's great for inflation. It means the pressure on inflation is ebbing away, and it's great for costs. The costs for business and everything are great. So we could be in for a bit of a golden time here during this Trump era. As I say, I think there's going to be a lot of volatility throughout this Trump presidency, but initially, I think it's all looking good and positive. So let's leave it on that for today, Bruce. Thank you so much for having me, and look forward to catching up again.
You got it, Matt. We will see you in the morning.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Cheers. It's great. Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report. World-class analysis that we get here. It really is something else. I want to finish the show. I was honored. I know I mentioned it a couple times. I was honored to be asked to give some words last night at the Liberland reception. To be honest, we have a lot of footage from the conference, which we'll disseminate and play over the next little bit. We also have a lot from the gala. The inaugural ball was really something else. I've thrown a lot of galas in my day, and it was a real honor to get to throw the inaugural ball, one of the inaugural balls. And we had a line out the door the whole night. I mean, people trying to buy tickets and try to sneak in and try to get in until there was 40 minutes. I'm standing outside telling people, look, don't buy a ticket right now. There's 20 minutes of bar left, just don't do it. But I wanted to play. What I said, my words for the Liberland reception last night, because Liberland is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I've been involved in this micronation for almost since its beginning, and so I wanted to play that for everybody. It's short, and we can wrap up from there. But this is at the Liberland reception last night. My words to the people that were there, the dignitaries that were there, and the other supporters.
Well, I can't tell you guys what a major honor it is to be here and to be asked to say a few words. Guys, I'll tell you what, I learned about Liberland probably like a lot of you guys about 10 years ago on that Fox News or whatever snippet it was, and there was President Vitt there talking about Liberland, and I thought, God, what is that? Maybe I saw it once or twice. And then I'm over in Dubai, and the organizer for the event that we're both speaking at, President Vitt and I, he says, hey, Bruce, I want to introduce you to President Vitt. I said, who? And he says, President Vitt. I said, who? And he says, the president of Liberland. I said, hold on, wait, that place really exists? And he says, yeah, man, the president's right over here. Come on, I want to introduce you. I know, all right, meet President Vitt right there on the spot. We hit it off. I invited him to speak at our Washington Elite Summit here in Washington, D.C. It was a few months later. He agreed right there on the spot, came as he does with his entire delegation, and they met with the Libertarian Party, and they met with political officials, they met the GBA, they met a lot of people, Stephen Malnick, a lot of people that have helped out through the years. And it is really something else to have that. And then over the years, of course, I've introduced President Vitt to a lot of world leaders, or a few world leaders anyway, and had an effect like that. And this is the last event that I'm ever going to come to for Lieberland where I'm not going to wear my Star of Merit. I have a big star, yes, that President Vitt awarded me during the Habsburg reception in Vienna. And it was a real honor. It was a real honor to take it. So I won't take up a whole lot of your time, but just to give you a little bit of why I grabbed on to Lieberland and why it's such an important place and an idea. So Bitcoin, I was introduced to Bitcoin about 12 years ago. And I thought, wow, that is really cool. And I started getting involved. And, you know, I saw early on, one, I knew that the banking cartel, which is what controls our money here, the banking cartel was a big problem, and they were able to print money and everything else. And here was the solution. But not only was it a solution for money, but it was actually a solution for governance. And it took the countries of the world like another 5 years to figure it out. But meanwhile, we were going around the world talking about it, talking about the monetary revolution, everything else. So I grabbed onto that real quick. I had this same like epiphany when I met President Vitt, and of course Bogey as well. But when I found out about Lieberland, like here it is. Like here is something that we can grab onto and that can be ours. It's our country. It's our country. Anybody can be a Lieberlander. And it stands for freedom, and it stands for ownership, and it stands for privacy, and all the things that matter to us that we've lost in this corporate communism system that we live in right now. People are just starting to figure it out. So amazing. I know Digital Chamber of Commerce, Kenny Lee, you're the man for kicking that. I had initially planned to put you guys at the table with the Digital Chamber of Commerce. I thought, well, it's something else because the GBA worked out so well, and now I have the Digital Chamber of Commerce, and so Kenny, he's a real sharp guy, like you guys put together. So I'm really honored, guys. Thanks for letting me say a few words, and we will continue building Lieberland.
Hey Randy, I got another home run for us, man. This 2-bit exchange is absolutely amazing.
Hey Bruce, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that 2-bit exchange?
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be able to list our coins that we want, that we support, and they're going to be on this amazing derivatives platform. It's absolutely awesome.
Derivatives? I love derivatives. I can't wait to be on the trade copy program.
So what I want you to do is set up an account and then send me your UID, and let's set you up with a trade copy system, and you just let it run. Copy our trades. That's it. Easy peasy.
So you want me to open an account, send you my user ID, and you hook me up with a trade copy system. I can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Hey, Matt. Hey, listen, I met with the guys at 2-Bit Exchange while I was in Dubai, and this platform really looks amazing.
Yeah, hi Bruce. Yeah, thank you again for that heads up. I mean, I've looked into this 2-bit platform. It does appear to have everything we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. 2-Bit, T-O-O-B-I-T. They have great liquidity. They have futures platform. There's a lot of functionality that I think you're going to like on there. And they really want to work with us. They want to work with the Impact Money Show. And as you and I both know, if they have a good product and they want to work with us, well, hey, that's half the battle.
I mean, basically, I love that copy trade facility. I love the features on the platform. It's basically very simple to use.
Our viewers only need to set it up to copy our trades, and they just do all the trades that we do. Makes it really easy for people to participate. I think they're going to love it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And yeah, it's definitely going to benefit people. I mean, obviously with all the years of experience that we can pack into it, and people can basically benefit from that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a goer.
Hey, David. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it too. I mean, when you think of the ways that we can help our viewers earn money and be able to participate in the monetary revolution, this 2-bit platform just opens up all kinds of doors that they don't have right now.
Hey, Bruce, I'm checking out this platform. It's revolutionary.
That's absolutely correct. And the futures platform is amazing. Great liquidity. And the copy trader program, people are going to be able to make the trades exactly when we make them and make the money that we make. It's a win-win for everybody.
Open for U.S. customers, and you can deposit money with the credit or debit card. Doesn't get better than this.
Beautiful. And what do you think we should use as a referral code?
I think we should use Impact Money. That's the one. Impact Money.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.